this alternate reality Diablo 1, or is it just kind of that's where it is?
Yeah, the filter only applies to the area you're
Okay.
playing in when you're playing the anniversary event.
Okay.
And it's actually going out on the PTR next week, so players can hop in next week and check it out right away and give us feedback.
Okay.
Always good to get feedback. And then the anniversary of Diablo, the 20th anniversary, it was actually released on December 31st. Was the street date? We'll actually have the patch live early January.
Okay.
So for the month of January, the event will run the entire month. And then at the end of January, so don't miss it. So definitely play during the month of January so you can check it out. And then it'll recur every January.
Okay.
After that.
It's a limited time event.
Okay, so that would be good to know.
Yep.
So shifting to the Necromancer. Hello everyone, I am Menegis from our Diablo, joined today by Wai Cheng, Senior Game Designer,
Hey everyone.
and Rob
Foot.
Lead Game Producer. And we just came up from the opening ceremony where we saw the Necromancer, the D1 remake to be put into Diablo 3, as well as some other things, and we've got some questions for these guys, and hopefully we'll get some more information out of them.
All right.
So to start off with recreating Diablo 1, what sort of challenges did you guys run into with trying to recreate, a 20-year-old environment to pull it into the Diablo 3 engine?
Well, I think one of the challenges I think we had was the team became very so the idea behind this 20th anniversary patch was basically that to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Diablo. So then, as the idea started rolling in development, it's like, okay, yeah, we could redo some of Diablo 1, and then it became we can redo all of Diablo 1, and then it became we're going to add 4 bosses interspersed throughout the levels. Oh, can we add a visual filter? So I think it was very good feature creep. So as over the course of development, people would come up with these great ideas, and then we just started adding it, and once it started coming together, it ended up being really cool. We're gonna also you'll learn more in the panel later today.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's some trickiness in trying to figure out, where do you draw the line, right? Like, you get to bring your Diablo 3 character into a Diablo 1 dungeon, or are we going to try and recreate characters, and how about items and stuff like that? And so the dungeon is Diablo 1, but the character is your character.
Okay.
But it's almost like your character walked through a portal into another alternate reality.
Okay.
Because you get to take your Diablo 3 character, and when you go through the portal, you end up in a world, and the sound effects are put through a filter so that it sounds a little more like the 90s version of the game.
Okay.
And like Frank said, we do lock you to 8 individual faces.
Yeah.
So very similar to
So
Diablo
we truly
1.
are locked to the cardinal direction.
Right,
But
exactly.
you get to see your witch doctor, your barbarian, your crusader, your demon hunter, as if they were in Diablo 1.
Okay. Speaking of the items, will we see more of the items that were popular in Diablo 1? Will those be reintroduced into Diablo 3?
Yeah, the item system is, at the core, we decided to keep the Diablo, it's your character.
Yep.
And because it's your character and because it's a Diablo 3 hero, the items are Diablo 3 items.
Okay.
We have put in a few retro tribute items.
Okay, and that's kind of what we're...
there's like a godly plate of the whale, and it's more like a nostalgic throwback item.
Okay.
It's not something that your Diablo 3 character would wear, but it's fun.
It's
to
more of
have
a
in there.
remembrance.
It's a remembrance.
Okay.
And then there's also a bonus item just for taking part. Is one of the rewards for getting to the end of the 16 floors is going to be Diablo 3's first legendary gem that can be put into your helm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be added as well.
Okay. Speaking of the filter, is that filter something that we're going to be able to take out of this alternate reality Diablo 1, or is it just kind of that's where it is?
Yeah, the filter only applies to the area you're playing in when you're playing the anniversary event.
Okay.
And it's actually going out on the PTR next week, so players can hop in next week and check it out right away and give us feedback. Always good to get feedback. And then the anniversary of Diablo, the 20th anniversary, it was actually released on December 31st. Was the street date? We'll actually have the patch live early January.
Okay.
So for the month of January, the event will run the entire month. And then at the end of January, so don't miss it. So definitely play during the month of January so you can check it out. And then it'll recur every January.
Okay.
After
It's
that.
a limited time event.
Okay, so that would be good to know. So shifting to the Necromancer, what is the primary stat of the Necromancer?
It's intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be an int-based class. So you'll want int and vit, and the resource for the Necromancer is it's essence.
Yep.
It doesn't regenerate on its own. You use it for quite a few of your skills, but we're also bringing back the idea of using corpses.
Okay.
So the corpses almost act as a second resource for the
Okay.
Necromancer, so you can blow them up with corpse explosion, and we also have a few other skills that are going to make use of corpses as well.
Okay. Going along with that, with like the design of the Necromancer, what challenges did you guys face with trying to keep a delineation between the Witch Doctor and the Necro?
So one of the first things that our lead visual effects artist, Julian Love, who is also spearheading a lot of the effort, along with Travis Day, on the Necromancer, they got the whole team together in a room, and we sort of brainstormed out what do we want to see out of the Necromancer, you know? And we said, okay, we looked at all the Diablo 2 skills, but we're not recreating the Necromancer, we're reimagining the Necromancer for Diablo 3.
Sort of like the Crusader was a reimagining of the Paladin.
Right, or even the Barbarian
Yeah.
is a reimagining of the Diablo 2 Barbarian, where you have a couple throwback skills, and we're going to be seeing Bone Spear and Corpse Explosion come back, but there's going to be a whole bunch of new skills too, and we're really focusing on themes like blood and bone, and being a commander of the dead.
Okay, so it will have a full kit, just like any of the other
It'll be a
classes.
full class, right?
It'll be a full class.
I think also too, like we are very. I think the feature team, the Necromancer feature team, is very cognizant of the Witch Doctor. Like we all play Diablo 3, we're aware of it. I think one of the things that really separates and makes the Necromancer feel distinct is like Wyatt was saying, you are the commander of the dead. So specifically, you have a bunch of raised skeletons. You're going to be able to actually click. I don't know if you played the demo.
Yep.
You're actually going to be able to click the skeleton button, and it the skills basically command
And they
skeleton,
go- and they
go
run.
whatever
Yeah.
you're killing.
Yep.
So say you're fighting, you get to the Rift Guardian, you're like, get on them, and then it basically feels like they're not just ambling about fighting whatever's around them. They are listening to what you're telling them to do.
Okay. So will the Necromancer, when it releases, will it be like 4 class sets? Will it be 3? Do we know yet?
We are working on many class sets, but
Okay.
I think the initial release of the Necromancer is going to have 1 or 2. We haven't decided yet.
Okay.
And that's very intentional. And the reason is because we found that we don't always know how the community is going to take the tools that we've given them in terms of the skills and the legendary items and the sets. And if you think back even to the way that the Crusader, with Reaper of Souls or any of the other classes, they all started with 1 or 2 sets. And then we evolved and got a 3rd set and then a 4th set, and we went back and we revisited old sets. And I think that there's almost a collaboration that happens between the community and the development team, where we want to see where the Necromancer goes and takes on a life of its own, and maybe make sure that the 3rd and the 4th set we're planning for that the 3rd and the 4th set for the Necromancer. We're going to be developing those kind of in response to what kind of play styles we think people, what play styles people say they want to see.
Can we get a little bit of a sneak of what one of the sets might do for the Necromancer?
What's funny is that the sets often are iconic and sometimes break the rules of what the baseline class is. And so we don't actually know just yet. Right now we're fleshing out the full skill set.
Okay.
And then we'll be looking at how legendaries can augment and also break the rules.
Yeah.
And then we'll be also looking at how the sets complement that.
It'll be interesting to see what with the ring set that lets you, if you're not wearing any sets.
The Legacy of Nightmares.
Legacy of Nightmares set, yes. How that will play into the Necromancer.
Yeah, I mean we have 6 skills playable right now that you've checked out. We're also going to be showing off 2 additional skills in the panel, so definitely check that out. So you'll be able to see them. You won't be able to play them on the floor, but you'll at least be able to see a first look.
Okay.
And then, like Wyatt said, the team's hard at work fleshing out the remainder of the class.
Okay. So with console, we learned through the press kit that seasons are coming to console.
Yes, they are. That's a
Um,
big request.
Yeah. So what made you guys finally pull the trigger and do it?
You know, it's
Be showing off 2 additional skills in the panel, so definitely check
Okay.
that out. So you'll be able to see them. You won't be able to play them on the floor, but you'll at least be able to see a first look.
Okay.
And then, like Wyatt said, the team's hard at work fleshing out the remainder of the class.
Okay. So with console, we learned through the press kit that seasons are coming to console.
yes, they are. That's a
Um,
big request.
Yeah. So what made you guys finally pull the trigger and do it?
You know, it's I think seasons are a huge replayability factor for players. I think a lot of people really like the idea of being able to experience Diablo fresh again, and it's something the players have been asking for, and it's something the development team was excited to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the team always strives for feature parity between console and PC. We want the players to have the same tools in their toolkit on both, so I think there's something the team could get behind.
Okay. So kind of going to the seasons a little bit. As we kind of know, as kind of the darker side on the console side, that there's usually rampant cheating or modding of items. What's going to be done to kind of keep the leaderboards from